A text that started my affair and ended my marriage. Part 2. After the divorce papers were signed, I moved into a one-bedroom apartment with creaky floors and terrible water pressure. It smelt like old wood and freedom. There was no one to fight with about thermostat settings, no one to wake up next to, no Matt, no Caleb, just me, a used couch, and a house plant I couldn't keep alive. The silence was louder than I expected. At first it felt like peace, then like punishment. My phone buzzed a lot less. No goodnight texts, no passive-aggressive "don't forget the eggs" reminders. Just emails from work and the occasional spam call about my car's warranty. Sometimes I stared at the door like someone might walk in and ask me if I was okay, but no one ever did. About 6 months after Caleb and I fell apart, I downloaded a dating app. A friend said it would be good for me. "Just get back out there," she chirped over brunch, like it was as simple as rejoining a gym. The first guy I matched with said, "You're hot," without punctuation. The second asked if I liked being choked. The third was Matt's former co-worker. I deleted the app before lunch. It was too soon, or maybe it was too late. I realized I didn't even know how to flirt anymore. I wasn't looking for butterflies. I just wanted someone to ask me how my day was and actually listen to the answer. At night I started writing emails to Matt. Not to send, just to say the things I didn't know how to say when we were married. "Hey, remember when you used to make pancakes on Sundays and whistle off key to Bon Iver? I hated it, but now I miss it so much it makes my throat hurt. You weren't perfect, but neither was I. We both forgot how to show up. I'm sorry." Then I wrote to Caleb. "You lit a match in a dark room and I mistook it for the sun. I don't hate you, I just hate how much I wanted you to save me." These emails sat in a folder called Never, along with the photos I couldn't bring myself to delete. People love redemption stories, the cheater who reforms, the broken woman who finds herself, the clean arc. But what happens when you just sit in your mess for a while? When you're not the hero, not the victim, just the one who burned it all down? That's where I was. Some friends ghosted me after the divorce, others stayed, but you could feel the shift, like I had become someone they had to handle with oven mitts. It made me realize how much we judge people without knowing the full picture. Affairs aren't always about lust. Sometimes they're about feeling invisible and doing something, anything, to feel seen again. Still, I wasn't proud of what I did, but I was starting to understand why I did it. I finally went to therapy after crying during a yogurt commercial. It was about a mum and daughter, don't ask. My therapist was a 60-something woman named Denise, who wore chunky necklaces and said things like, "Let's sit with that." At first, I just complained about Matt, about Caleb, about myself. Then Denise said something that stuck. "You keep trying to figure out who was right and who was wrong. But what if the point isn't blame, it's understanding?" So we unpacked it, all of it. How I had been shutting down for years, how Matt had become safe but absent, how I mistook attention for affection. Week by week, the shame got lighter, like I was finally allowed to put it down and just be messy, flawed, but healing. About a year later, I ran into Matt. Of course it happened at the grocery store, where all awkward reunions are born. I was in the cereal aisle, deciding between something whole grain and something with marshmallows, when I heard someone say, "Emily?" I turned, and there he was. He looked good, lighter, his hair was longer, his face softer. "Hey," I managed. "Hey." We stood there like statues in front of the Fruit Loops. Then he said, "You look well." "I've been trying," I replied. There was a beat. "Coffee?" he asked. "As friends?" I nodded before I could overthink it. We sat at a nearby cafe and talked for an hour. Not about the affair, not about blame, just life, work, his new apartment, my therapist's chunky necklaces. It felt like catching up with someone I used to know, who still held the map to parts of me I had forgotten. When we said goodbye, there was no promise of reconnection, just a hug and maybe a silent thank you for the closure we never got before. I wish I could tell you that I found new love, that I got married again and adopted a dog named Olive and started a podcast about personal growth. But no, right now, I'm just learning how to be with myself without needing someone else to fill the silence. I take long walks, I read poetry. I've started painting again, badly but joyfully. And I talk to my friends, honestly, this time. I tell them when I'm scared, when I feel lonely, when I miss things I shouldn't. And they stay. I stay too. If you've ever been on either side of betrayal, I want to say this. You're not a monster. You're not a fool. You're not broken beyond repair. You're human. And sometimes we crack open in the most painful, dramatic ways, just to figure out what we actually need. The text didn't start the affair. The silence did. And maybe that's the real lesson here. We all want to be heard, held, chosen, even when we forget how to ask for it.